I'm kind of nervous. This is something I've never done before.
Behind the scenes with Royish good looks, studio diary.
Today is March 12th, 2023. Literally just yesterday, I released my song, It's Like Poetry. I don't often start working on a new song the very next day after releasing one. I kind of get really lazy. I tend to take a week or two off until the motivation strikes again to actually get back into the game. But Bad Batch Season 2 has been on. Mandalorian Season 3 has been on. I've been really inspired by Star Wars lately. I've also been reading a lot of books about just working on your craft and not stopping. When you finish a song, start your next song. There's a lot to be said about maintaining that momentum. I don't have a full song right now, but I do have some bits and pieces of a song that I think I'm going to call The Mandalorian. I've got a verse, I've got a chorus. I just need some more lyrics to flesh out a second verse and maybe punch up the first verse. But I've got enough pieces that if I start working on this song, more and more pieces will fall into place. And before you know it, we'll probably have another song. You just have to work on it. There's only so many songs that are like lightning in a bottle moments that like it happens all at once in 5 minutes and you've got the whole thing start to finish. More often the case is you've got to battle for that song. So I'm going to start that battle today, and I'm going to do my best to document the entire process, the entire journey through these studio diaries. This is something I've never done before. I spent a couple hours here today in OBS trying to set up my phone and a microphone and screen capture. I can't get the screen capture to work, but I'll figure some of this out as we go. I'm kind of nervous. I mean, I don't even really like being on camera, but we're going to do it anyway. Right now, I've got 2 voice memos of the rough idea of the song.
But now I understand that it's not the best car steel that makes a man DeLorean. What makes a man DeLorean? What makes a man DeLorean? What makes a man?
It is sort of like a full song. The way I've sang it in the voice memo is verse, chorus, sort of repeating the first verse, chorus, bridge, instrumental jam section to be determined, and then a final chorus. That's been really fun to listen to on the voice memo. The song's been stuck in my head. I'm excited to work on it. And right now, it's March 12th. There's only been 2 episodes of The Mandalorian so far. I'm thinking that I'll probably start this today, and I might end up even changing lyrics or like the direction of the song as we go through this season, which is sort of what I did with Rebellion while Andor was coming out.
We all have our own rebellion.
I wrote that song like after the first 3 or 4 episodes had aired. So some of those lyrics changed, and certainly the way that I edited the video changed. I waited until the entire season came out to finish that song. And I think I'll do similar with this Mandalorian song. This is the way, baby. I'm going to get into it. I'm looking at a blank Pro Tools session right now. Other than my 2 voice memos, we got nothing. So we're going to build this as we go. If you like where we're going so far, hit subscribe, hit like, drop a couple comments, and let me know what you're thinking. I would love to hear from you.
Behind the scenes.
All right, so now I've got my voice memo into Pro Tools, and I've sort of mapped out the structure that was there on the voice memo. There's all sorts of things that we'll still have to figure out. At least now you have one bird's eye view of what you have so far. That makes it a lot easier to figure out where you're going. So now what's next is I'm going to drop in some scratch guitar and some scratch vocals. I think that's going to be my big focus right now, rather than like drums and bass and the fun arranging stuff. I'm going to save that until I at least have like the core song figured out. It looks like it's figured out here, but I don't have the lyrics. I don't know if we're going to figure them all out today, but I'm going to start on that at least. I also need to figure out the tempo. Pro Tools has this cool tap tempo feature where you just hit the T key and it will measure whatever tempo you're tapping. And this was around like 130, and the bridge sped up a lot, and then the third verse and kind of the outro sort of slowed down again. Somewhere 130 to 140-ish. That's always something that I end up changing if it feels like it needs to be faster or slower. A lot of times when you do like an acoustic version of it, you always do it a little bit slower and more mellow, but then when you put the drums in, it's like, oh, it's got to pick up the pace a little bit. I think the song's probably going to open up with guitar and vocal. Like I said, when you're playing it on one instrument, you get a different vibe for it. I just figured out how I can get Pro Tools audio into OBS for the capture for the video. So maybe this will work a little bit better now. Here's the guitar tone that I'm working with. Right? Again, I haven't done any recording yet at all. It's 4:30. I've been goofing around for so much time today. We'll end up with something, I'm sure. Eventually, I guess I can just record the recording. Let's see how this goes. This is going to be hard to do without all the drums and stuff. I want to go overboard already with it. All right, so I've got some rhythm guitar in there. I've got a lead kind of solo in the bridge. It's enough to work with for vocals. Definitely lots of stuff is going to change, but at least I can now mute the voice memo and just start working on solely just the vocals. We're so early in the process right now that it might seem a little bit crazy. We're doing the puzzle though. We're doing the edges first and we're going to fill everything in. So we've got at least a bed of guitar to work with for the next step, which is the vocals.
Studio Diary.
All right, so now things are getting complicated. I don't know how to not obscure my face if I'm gonna do vocals and kind of do the demo the way I normally would do it. So sorry if this is annoyingly in the way, but now I've got tracks for main vocals and doubles and a couple of harmonies. I try not to overcomplicate things from the get-go. It kind of sucks to hear vocals just like guitar without effects, without some reverb and whatnot. So I've just imported all my settings from my last song. So now I'm gonna record the parts that I already know are there from the demo. I might leave in placeholder lyrics and whatever. Also, I don't know what's going to happen with OBS because you're hearing this mic directly into OBS and you also can hear Pro Tools. Like if I play Pro Tools, you'll hear Pro Tools a little bit blended in. But if I start recording, all right, you're going to only hear me through Pro Tools for a second. So maybe this will sound good or not. We'll find out in a second though. Also, I got like the auto-tune on. Oh, ha! Had the auto-tune set to E major instead of G major. That's a huge mistake there.
All of your life, you said this is the way. You took the creed, you are both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? You will grow up, never showing your face. You didn't ask why, it's just how you were raised. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? That makes the man DeLorean. What makes the man DeLorean? What makes the man DeLorean? What makes the man?
This is weird, the singing on camera. Is this something that we're going to continue through this series? I don't know, but...
Studio Diary.
So we're only 2 takes into the song so far, and I'm learning more about trying to broadcast and film and document this, that this is way, way more distracting than just putting the song together, but I think this will be a good thing in the long run to have some of this footage. In case you're wondering, I've got different scenes that if I want you to hear just the dry mic right now with no processing, which I think will be best for monologues like this, talking directly to the camera, but if I want to go into Pro Tools and have you hear me with this mic inside of the mix and not dry and like blended together, then this should be that. Now you should hear me with some reverb and lots of EQ and compression and distortion and auto-tune, which will be nice when I'm singing and you don't have to actually hear all of the terrible notes I'm hitting. But obviously this is like not good for the VO right now. So we can have this dry VO and maybe I'll get good at switching that, maybe not. This is all part of it though. I think I just need to work on the song and forget about documenting it for a minute, and then I'll come back and recap everything with you, but I'm not getting as far as I should and focusing whatsoever. How does Andrew Huang do this? How does Rob Scallon do this? How does every other creator film themselves, talk to a camera, and actually get the work done? Obviously that's a muscle that you grow, but whoa, it's hard. So props to those guys.
Behind the scenes,
It is 7:13 p.m., March 12th, 2023. I have a version of a song entitled The Mandalorian. I'm assuming this is going to be episode 1 of a series ongoing. What cooler way to end it than to actually play you the first demo of this song?
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? And you would grow up never showing your face. You didn't ask why, it's just how you were raised. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? It was so hard to see, 'cause all my wounds were underneath. But now I understand that it's not the best scar steel that makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the man? Deep in the mines you would try to redeem everything that you are, or so it would seem. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? You didn't know there could be so much more, but when you learned you had to settle the score. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? It was so hard to see, 'cause all my wounds were underneath. But now I understand that it's not the best scar steel that makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the man? What makes the man? You took a chance when you decided to leave. We're all better off no matter what you believe. You're a Mandalorian. Always a Mandalorian. It was so hard to see, 'cause all my wounds were underneath. But now I understand that it's not the best scar steel that makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the man?
All right. It's demo 1. It's demo 1. The song at this point that you're watching this, the song is presumably out, right? So that's the funniest thing about this video existing. Oh my gosh. Verse 2 lyrics are like, who knows? Who knows what's actually going to happen in the show? I have like 4 other alternate verses that I've kind of tried out just without more context from the show. I don't know where those lyrics are going to go. I don't have a bridge. Maybe it'll be a nice release to not necessarily like a solo, but a riff. This kind of reminds me a lot of the Bad Batch bridge / solo thing. So something kind of like that, and going into a verse 3, kind of broken down and build back up for the last chorus. I love this little verse guitar riff. That'll be really fun to dress up in verse 1 and verse 2 with the production. Drums, no drums, single guitar, double guitar. I want to kind of spoof Open Your Eyes by Goldfinger.
Open your eyes to the millions of
I feel like this kind of has a similar arrangement to that, where we'll be small, we'll go big, small, go big, and hopefully that'll be really, really rock and roll, really satisfying. There's so much work left to do. But listening through that, like that's been the voice memo the last couple days that I've had, just guitar and vocals. And now hearing it with the doubles and the harmonies and having verses that aren't just kind of like mumbling words, it'll be a little easier to figure out. Like all we got to do is fit new words into those verses and we'll be just fine. I don't know, there'll be a new episode of Mandalorian on Wednesday. Maybe that will help. Next episode, if we keep this up, I will add some drums, I'll add some bass, and do like a stereotypical guitar arrangement for it. And this is it, piece by piece. Having this frame, again, the puzzle, having the edges done, we can fill it in even easier now. I'm gonna make so many stupid metaphors. I want to apologize, but that's just kind of how I am. So there you have it. I will make this demo version available on my Patreon for those of you on the bonus tracks tier. And if you're excited for episode 2, please leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. And I will see you when I come back to this song.
Behind the scenes with